I don't know how to start this video, so I'm just going to get into it. I have a proposal for a variant class in Dungeons & Dragons. This variant would be called a Goblin Killer Wizard. Here's the premise. Your average first level wizard, assuming standard array stats, has about 7 hit points and an armor class of 12. A goblin does 1d6 plus 2 points of damage, assuming it hits and doesn't crit. If you take into consideration hit chance and crits and the damage threshold, a goblin has an 11.7% chance of killing a wizard in one hit. Now, both the goblin and the wizard have the same initiative modifier, meaning there's a 50-50 chance of the goblin going first. So we can shrink that to a 5.85% chance a goblin one-shots a wizard. As such, here's the prerequisite for the Goblin Killer Wizard variant. If you're making a first level wizard and his base armor class is 12 or lower and his hit points are 7 or lower, then before the session, you can roll a d20. If you roll a 1, then your wizard died from a goblin attack before his adventurer ever started, and you have to make a new character. If you roll a 20, then your wizard killed that goblin who tried to ambush them, and he starts with starting equipment plus the leather armor, shield, scimitar, short bow, and 2d4 arrows from the goblin, as well as a 50 XP boost. So you might be thinking, this sounds like an interesting variant, but why does this only apply to wizards? Well, you have to think about it from the goblin's point of view. A goblin's not going to 1v1 someone wearing any kind of armor or holding a weapon more complicated than a dagger or staff. So that rules out pretty much every class except for the sorcerer. And the sorcerer, they won't have armor, but they'll have a high charisma, which gives off an air of, don't mess with me. The wizard, by contrast, doesn't wear armor and doesn't use any complex weapons, and will be dressed in cloth robes. A goblin will see robes and think, easy kill, and 5.85% of the time, they're correct. Now I know what you're thinking. What if your wizard is a dwarf or a half-orc? Then you've got relentless endurance or armor and weapon proficiencies to factor in. Well, to further refine the variant, a goblin won't attack a dwarf or half-orc wizard, so they can't take this variant. We can probably go beyond that and ask, well, why are we assuming that a wizard is wearing stereotypical wizard robes? And there's a very easy answer to that. If you're playing a wizard and you're not wearing robes, you're not welcome in my game. So there's my Goblin Killer Wizard variant rule. Feel free to use it or don't. That's it. Goodbye.